Hello everyone, Tripster here, and we're back with Starfield. This is going to be another min-maxing video. Today we'll be discussing the shields in Starfield, which one is most efficient, which one has the highest amount of energy, and which one you should be using depending on which power plant you can afford. Before we jump onto the spreadsheets, I just wanted to show this off. This game is so incredible. You can see the mountains and just incredible. So okay, let's get to it. Here we go. So I've started to add a couple more columns to my spreadsheet. As you can see, here is a shields column, and I will be updating. I did receive some comments of people asking about the spreadsheet, if I can share it. I will be sharing this spreadsheet. I just wanted to clean it up a little more because it was sort of a rough draft. So once I add a few more things to it, I will be making it public so people can experiment with it and so on. I have made some changes to the other tabs. You can see there is ballistics, laser, EMP, and missiles. So before we jump onto the shields, I did receive some comments regarding my weapons video. I appreciate those comments. They definitely helped me. They helped motivate me to make this video now that I see that there is interest. So one of the comments that I received is, why not run 3 particle weapons? As you can see, I have added a new column to my spreadsheet called range. And that's a very important one because the particle weapons have a lot more range than the ballistics. As you can see, the ballistics have 800 to 1000, where the particle weapons are shooting away from 3 kilometers away, which is very nice. I have an example here where I am taking an average battleship of 1600 shield and 1600 hull. That's a pretty decent ship for endgame. If I was to run 3 particle weapons, the limit would be, here we go, so 456 plus 438 plus 390. That will give us about 1284 damage to the shields and 1284 damage to the hull. So if we were to do some simple math, we end up with 1.246 seconds to down the shields and then 1.246 seconds to down the hull. And the ship will disappear in just under 2.5 seconds. If we were to run 2 particle weapons and the ballistic weapon, the damage to the shields would be 1122 and then damage to the hull would be 1704. So it would take 1.42 seconds to down the shield and then under a second to eliminate the ship. So we are slightly ahead on the DPS there. However, again, that range is very nice. As you can see, all the particle weapons are very long range. So do you want slightly higher DPS or do you want 3000 range? I agree, 3000 range is much more helpful. So I will be changing my ship to run 3 particle weapons. I will be running a PBO 175, a Vanguard, Obliterator, and the Exterminator. So that's the change I'll be making to my ship based on the comments I received. I appreciate that a lot. So let's get to the shields, which is the main focus of this video. So currently everything is sorted by health of the shields. You can see 1600, this is the best shield available in the game. 1600, 15 and so on down to the starting shields. So let's take a look at the regen rate. At first I figured regen was continuous throughout the battle. It is not. you have to be out of combat for about 10 seconds before the shield starts regenerating. So the regen rate of 5, 7 and so on, it's nice to have higher regen rate, but because you have to be out of combat, it's really not that useful. So what this column here is simple calculation of the regen rate multiplied by the shield strength, and you end up with these figures. Again, if you finish combat, do you really care how fast your shield regens? I don't. So this column, it's okay, but it's not useful, unfortunately. The important part is, so this is HP per 1 power. You can see, if you have only 1 power in shields, this is how much strength the shield will have for that 1 power. So that's what that means. Each shield has different amount of power it requires. As you can see, this one requires 12 power and it's a C class. If you have applied 12 power to it, it will be the full shield of 1600. So if you have a good reactor that can supply this much power, this is going to be the best shield. This is going to be the most efficient shield, which is 133 HP per 1 power. So let's sort the spreadsheet by this. Here we go. So you can see this shield is the best available. For the B class, is the best one is this one of 1500, and again 125 HP to 1 power. But again, you need a pretty hefty power plant to run it because it requires 12 power to get the 100% strength. Now, this pretty much concludes the spreadsheet. You're going to be running a C class if you have the C power plant, and if you don't, you're going to be running the B class. Now let's examine the A class shields, which is what people will be running that are starting out in the game. The shield that you get in the beginning, the Deflector SG10, is actually very high efficiency. The main problem is it's very low health. So you can see over here at HP per 1 power, it has the best HP to 1 power rating that you can have in the game for A class shield. The next available here is this one, the Murdoch 1030-A, and this one is again the same efficiency of 113. However, the difference is it has more power available, so you can allocate 6 points of power and you will get a little more shield strength if you have the better reactor for it. So you will get with 680 health to the shields. So that's what that represents. If you were to use this shield, the Marduk, and only allocate 3 points, it will be exactly the same as the Deflector. You can see at 3 points of power, it is exactly the same. So that's kind of neat. If you want the highest available shield for A class, let me sort it by shield strength, and here it is. That's the best available that I can see, which is the 60S Protector. The problem with that shield is it's less efficient, so you will have more shield strength. However, you will need a better power plant, which you might not be able to afford in the beginning until later, so that's something to keep an eye on. So that's it. That's on the shields. The rest of them are pretty useless just because they're not efficient. Why would you burn more of your power to get less shield strength, right? Anyways, so this is a quicker video. The shields are just one subject and you only need to look at 3-4 shields, and that's about it. So In the next video, I will be going over the engines available in the game, and again, I'll be doing the same kind of efficiency rating and so on. If this video was helpful, let me know in the comments. I appreciate that feedback, especially on the last video. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.